What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spotlight by CG Ruthless, man. Let's welcome my special guest from Georgia State University, offensive lineman, Ben Chuma, man. How's it going, bro?
Going, what's up? Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. For those people who are not familiar with you, man, tell me about yourself.
Well, as everybody know now, I'm Nigerian, born and raised in Nigeria. Moved here my junior year of high school. Started playing football my college year of my junior year of college, and now I'm here. So that's a brief sum about me, pretty much.
Oh, so you came from Nigeria. So how was that transition from coming to America, and how did you learn about football?
Well, it was a big change, everything I knew in Nigeria coming here it was way different. The way school goes, the way people talk, the way people's mannerism was just different. So I low key found football in my senior year of high school. I just walked in the school when we came back from holidays. The coaches were trying to get me to play. They were trying to make me play. I didn't know what football was, so I didn't really want to play. Then I had a class. The class was taught by the former head coach, the former football coach, and there was a student there that was also a football player. So every day they kept on trying to get me to play. Every single day they kept on trying to get me to play. Then one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just go ahead and try the sports out. Yeah, that's how I started playing football.
Okay, so when you came into this country, you didn't know about football. You probably thought it was maybe soccer for the way it sounded, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I'd seen football in movies and stuff. That's pretty much all I knew about football. The movies I seen, the movies I watched. That's all I knew about football. But when I came here, I had zero, experience and zero, knowledge about football.
Oh yeah. So when you first started getting into football, it had to be during your senior year in high school, huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's when I knew I was introduced to the sport.
Oh, so a late bloomer, huh? Like kind of like coming into the game and still kind of new to it, still, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still new, still a lot to learn. That's why I love the teams. They see a big room for me to grow. That's why a lot of teams are excited.
Yeah, it's kind of an intriguing story to say, man. Like coming from Nigeria, coming from a country, and then coming along the way with something that's new to you, and then you're kind of like good at it at the same time. So it's like, hey, man, just stick with it.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it was.
So when you were going to college, was there like offers from other schools or just Georgia State, or did you go to the JUCO route first before you went to Georgia State?
I mean, before I came to Georgia State, I still wanted to play basketball, so I came to Georgia State in the hopes of trying out in the basketball team. So every day I actually come up to the rec to train to get better in basketball to learn to be able to join the basketball team. But my entering my junior year of college, I was like that. There's so much good people out there that knows how to play basketball that I've already started playing the sports way ahead of me. So football, I was like, okay, let's go see what football is all about. So during one of these days when I was going to rec to go train for basketball, a couple of football players came in. I approached them, walked up to them. I was like, I'm trying to join the football team. What can I do? They said, go up to the stadium and talk to the coach. So I went there, signed up. The day I signed up was the last day to sign up for tryouts. So I tried out. Then out of 40 people, I was one of the eight lucky people to make it. So yeah, that's pretty much how I started playing football. How I started playing football for Georgia State.
Ah, so you played some basketball and then it led you to go over there also. So I guess you know how sometimes when you get those invitations from the guys on the team, they say, "Hey, you gotta try, man."
Yeah,
Like it's kind of like convincing when they keep pushing for you, and sometimes you might say no, and then sometimes you're like, "Okay, what the heck."
go there. Let's do it. Let's try it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's give it a try and all that stuff, But so outside of football, man, who are you as a person, man?
I mean, outside of football, my whole identity is just giving back. I just my true happiness comes from making sure that people are okay. Because my parents, growing up in Nigeria, we lived a good life. We lived an okay life, but the life that we lived was based on the foundation of giving back. So like outside of football, as giving back to the community, God, going to church, being better, being a better person for the community. So that's me outside of football. So outside of football, either you see me in church, you see me looking for ways to give back, helping my parents, helping my family, you know.
Yeah, you come a long ways from another country, so you come
Yeah.
with that hard work, blue chip kind of mentality, and then
Yes.
you're a family person, of course. So
Yeah.
yeah, gotta give thanks to the Lord, for giving you this opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it was meant to be. Coming into playing football for all those years, man, you have to at least like just say, hey, man, I finally get a chance to play. But when did you feel that the game got very slow for you when you played at Georgia State?
I say 2022. So I started playing 2020 during COVID year. Um, COVID happened. 2021, I came back. 2022, then I started understanding. Oh, this what inside zone is, what mid zone is, what outside zone is, what the third tech is, what the end is, what the nose is. I started understanding different difference between the weak linebacker, the middle linebacker. So I said 2022. That's when the game started slowing down, and I started playing fast.
Okay. I mean, just from all that, man, like just from playing that position, it became more of a natural. But so have you met with any NFL teams or not yet?
Talking about after my pro day.
Okay, I mean, at least you're under the radar, so you'll at least get somewhere. I mean, the talent speaks for itself. I mean, 6'6", 310. I mean, you could
Yeah,
be a swing tackle or maybe a starting caliber guard. You got that versatility. So, have they
yeah.
asked you to play other spots besides tackle or no?
I mean, the only time I've heard of that was I just talked to the Tampa Bay. They asked me if I was willing to move to guard. I'm like, yeah, whatever it takes. I'm willing to play it all.
Yeah, I can see where the I mean, I see it seems like you can be the guy that can be put in on any of those spots. Like if they need you
Yeah,
at guard, you can be playing that spot. If they need you at tackle, I'm pretty sure you're capable. But
yeah,
even if they ask you to play center, I'm pretty sure it will take a lot of practice, but you'll get there.
yes, sir.
So so who do you model your game after, man? Just from watching the tapes of certain NFL players that you like to like mimic your game a little bit too, but watch from just watching the game or something?
I'd say Trent Williams. When I got introduced to the football, it was one of the few guys I always watched. See his technique. See the way he dominated. Then I also say Lane Johnson. All those guys that very explosive, very very dominating, and very 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 technique sound. So like those are the few guys I just watch and try to model my game after.
Oh, I definitely like how you put it that way. I mean, guys like Trent Williams and Lane Johnson, those are like just good foundation. Even Jordan Mailata is another good one too. But
Yeah,
yeah, those guys are athletic freaks, man. They can
yeah,
move. They can play at a very high level. So
yeah,
I can see why you would want to learn from those guys, especially
yeah.
in the trenches, man. Why do you feel like that people don't give offensive linemen enough credit, man? Because without the offensive lineman, there wouldn't be no running lanes. There wouldn't be no
Yeah,
time on the pocket for the
yeah.
quarterback. So why do you feel it doesn't get appreciated as often?
I mean, because the big guys we do the dirty work. We don't really have stats like sacks, fumbles, all those stuff. We don't really have that. All we have protecting the quarterback, and most times we don't get enough credit for it. But like I feel like that's one of the reasons I love the job. I'm here to do my job. I don't really care for no accolades. You can see what I do. You can see the work I put in. I don't really care for no big posters. Calling my name or signing my name out there. I'm just here to work. So yeah, it's just the big guys were just here to work. And I like it. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a little underappreciated, but I feel like it's the part of the most fun position, especially those are got to be the most personality people out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So okay, let's go on some rapid fire questions. Get to know more about you in a different way. Like, okay, so let's say you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. You had to pick between Burger King and McDonald's. What would you choose?
You said, come again, my bad.
What?
What did you say?
Oh, if you were stuck in the middle of nowhere and you had to choose between McDonald's or Burger King, which one would you choose?
I said McDonald's.
Okay. I mean, like the quarter pounders, the nuggets, and all that stuff. You can't go wrong. Okay, so let's say if you had to choose a game console between Xbox or PlayStation, which one would it be?
Definitely PlayStation. I grew up playing PlayStation. Yeah,
Okay, Call of Duty or Madden?
Call of Duty. Yeah,
Oh, I'm not good at that, but I'm pretty sure it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, yeah.
See, we're getting to know more about you on those type of interests. Let's see. If you had to go between Walmart or Target, which one would you go to?
Definitely Walmart. Definitely Walmart.
Prices, you
Yeah,
can't go wrong with that, man. That's for
can't go
sure.
wrong. Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the most interesting kind of debate. Is Pepsi or Coke, which one's better? But if you had to choose one.
Coke, I feel because it's original, so I definitely go with Coke. Yeah,
Well,
Pepsi have that weird taste after, but it's chilling. But like, I feel I'll go with Coke all day.
I mean, I can see why you would say Coke because it's in Atlanta, man. Cheating, not just playing. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing around. But yeah, but in all seriously, man, you can't go wrong with either choice. But
Yeah.
I know for some coaches and some players, they always have their players at a certain weight. Like, what kind of balanced dieting did they have you at Georgia State to get you in the best shape to be in football shape?
I mean, with me, weight was never my issue. Like getting big was never my issue because I had that strength. I had that strength to max the fact that I was underweight when I was underweight. But like honestly, with the new staff coming in, they give us a bunch of nutrition stuff in the weight room. Now we had eating upstairs because before when I was a walk-on. I didn't have privilege to what the scholarship guys had. So like when I got put on scholarship 2023, that's when I had access to the dining hall, I had access to the food upstairs, the stadium. So like yeah, I feel like when I got put on scholarship, that really changed.
Okay, at least you know how to balance it is and how they take it seriously. And sometimes I
Yeah,
think the playing weight where you're playing at 310, that's pretty much right for certain offensive linemen, especially if you want to be a guy that plays guard or the tackle spot. So
yeah,
I see where you're coming from. So so let's go with common sense. Football can be a little bit. You can have your moments, but let's say you
yeah.
have a quitter on your team during in the middle of the game. How you deal with the circumstances of a game where a guy just quits on you guys unexpectedly, and you guys have a chance to win a ball game?
I mean, in situations like that, you just got to make him understand. Yeah, is either you lock in and finish this game, or he's overweight because one thing about football is about brotherhood. So like I feel like when you practice, when you go to practice, you build that brotherhood, you build that bond, you learn about certain things you can tell your brothers, to keep them going. There's this saying that my offensive coach taught us. It's called Azak. So like whenever you see your brother going down, down about to quit, you go to look at him in his eye, say Azak, then give him a big ass hug, and tell him let's go, keep on going, you know. So yeah, that's all I can do, Try to motivate him, try to pick him up, any way he needs help, Come on, let's go, let's keep going, let's finish
Yeah.
this.
Next man up, got to go with the flow. Can't let it
Yeah,
get to you. You have a chance to win a ball game. But
yeah,
okay, so let's say it's the middle of the game.
yeah.
You have one of your offensive linemen just having a little miscommunication with the blocking assignment and is coming into an altercation. So how do you deal with it as a teammate just to keep a peacemaker or any other way to keep these guys from getting out of hand? Because I know the game can get very emotional.
Yeah, before every snap, I'd say communication. Talk loud, speak loud. If you don't understand, ask questions. Because anytime we're in the line, I'm screaming, communicate, communicate. You know your call. Repeating the call. So that's a good way to prevent miscommunications like that. Just make sure you communicate, overly communicate. Make sure you repeat what you're doing. If it's a B block, if it's a deuce, if it's a double, make sure you're repeating it. Make sure every call you make goes down the line. So that's a way to prevent miscommunication.
For sure, man. I mean, That's how we go with it, man. Like you just have to like find ways to be in a common piece with these guys and make sure
Yeah,
that hey, man, we still got a game. Just let
yeah,
that flush the next play, go on to the next series. You know, that's the kind of thing we would
yeah.
look at. But let's say you guys are down by multiple touchdowns going to halftime. What would be the best pep talk to get this team to come from behind to win this ball game, man?
I mean, honestly, the best pep talk you can give anyone is reminding them how far they've come, then asking them, "What's your why? What's the reason you put on this patch today? What's the reason you came out here to ball? What's the reason that you stood up from your bed to come there?" So remind them their why. Keep reminding them why. Ask them to talk to one another. Share their whys, and once they know their why, once everyone know their why, you boost them up. You say things to encourage them. You say things to motivate them, and you say things to remember, make them remember their why. We can go back in and finish the game.
Absolutely, man. I like that, man. See, you're kind of pushing and you're preaching on it. So, you know, so why do you feel NFL teams should draft you, man?
The main reason I feel like they should draft me is because I haven't really been playing this game for a long ass time, but I'm able to do what I can do. I'm able to dominate on the level I can dominate. I have a high ceiling of growth. So I have so much potential to grow in this game. You know, there's so many players have bad habits. You know, I built up old habits, but I'm still fresh in this game. You know, I haven't picked up all those old habits, so I'm open to learn the new habits and keep on pushing from there. So like a team that's gonna get me is gonna get someone that has so much room for improvement. I have so much ceiling for improvement. I have so much room for growth, and I have someone that can fit in their, you know, in their room, in their O-line room.
Absolutely, man. There's a lot to like about you. I mean, if you're versatile and you can do everything, man, I think a team will definitely take a flyer on you, even if you're just getting little interest, man. But it's gonna come around, man. Like your time
Yeah,
will come, and
yeah, definitely.
especially with all those, it's a pretty deep draft class. I think offensive line is probably as good as it is, and it includes you in the picture, man. So you're gonna be one of those sleepers, and you're gonna definitely get some good opportunities. But okay, for an offensive lineman, how do you deal with something like this? You know, like let's say an opposing defender just tries to get under your skin a little bit. How do you deal with
Yeah.
something so you don't get penalized, or how do you deal with the circumstances?
Yeah, throughout my games, like every time I've gamed, I've seen so many DNs, try to talk trash, like try to say things to get on my under my skin, under my skin. But like when they do that, like I just lock in. I just don't say anything because all I can think of is now you're talking trash to me. All I can do is trying to dominate you. So now everything is my head is trying to dominate the zone play, the pass. You're talking shit, but in my head, I'm trying to make ways, to dominate you, so I can, and definitely not get definitely not trying to get a flag, but like dominate you in a way that's legal, in a way that I can do. So after you thinking that you're getting into my head, I'm actually getting into your head by not saying anything because me, I don't trash back. I don't talk trash back. I just keep level-headed, just maintain the game, maintain my stance. Um, Go through the flow of the game and make sure that nothing anybody can say tell me or say to me get under my skin.
Yeah, that's a good way. But do you let your play do the talking, or you're more of a guy that
I
does a little bit of trash talking sometimes?
Yeah, I let my play do the talking because when I trash talk, I kind of get scared for them because it makes me more mad, and when when I'm more mad, I'm able to do more outrageous stuff. So like I keep my trash talk to a minimum because when I trash talk, it's over with. It's over with.
Oh, dude, like we all get emotional at times, and maybe we might
Yeah,
want to just rub it in a little bit, but
yeah,
it's nothing
yeah.
wrong with it. But so what's like your backup plan, like college major? What you major in college?
I majored in computer information system. Before that, before I started playing football, I was actually wanted do go to the medical route. I was biology major. I want to be a doctor, but I started playing football, so I switched it to computer information system. So like, my backup if football doesn't work, you just going to tech, get paid from there.
Oh yeah, see, at least you're getting ahead of the game. So you never know, but I'm pretty sure the NFL is the number one priority, of course. That's
Yeah,
always going to be the number one goal, of course. But
yeah,
always having a backup plan always turns to be something in case.
yeah.
But here's another good answer. So another great answer: learn to heal people, not to hurt them. Like So from playing the game, so for all those years going from college, what can you take into going into the NFL that you need to improve on the most?
My obviously, my main improvement is the general knowledge of the game. You know, to be more knowledgeable, to know more to work on my techniques, and I feel like that's my major part. Just to know the game and put it under my fingertips. So because once I know and understand the game well, I'll be able to move more faster than I am right now. So yeah,
Well, yeah, we all got to work on footwork, especially for offensive linemen. The
yeah,
footwork does make a difference, and then
yeah,
plus improving your hand placement, all the other stuff, and
yeah,
got to be at your best too. But hey, watching some of that tape, I mean, I see the raw, and I can see why a team might want to take a chance on you, man. So it's
yeah,
like
yes, sir.
you haven't scratched the surface yet. That's the interesting part, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how do you feel like it translates when you were doing basketball? What makes the transition from playing offensive lineman the way you were playing basketball? What does it give you, like, for other people to understand?
I mean, from basketball, you learn the defense, you squat, slide, shuffle left, shuffle right, shuffle back, shuffle. I feel like it's the same for pass setting on football when you have to pass sets and post and pass and post and pass. So like especially the footwork stuff. So like because I also grew up playing soccer too. So like everything, the soccer, my footwork, the basketball, my the way I'm able to use my arms. I'm able to be more explosive because basketball helps you to be explosive. I feel like it all helped me the translate it going into football because when I came in I'm able to move my feet fast because I have fast foot because of soccer. I'm able to be explosive because of basketball. I'm able to, do stuff that ordinary all linemen can't do. So, I feel like, it helped me a lot. Basketball and football. Basketball and soccer helped me a lot translating into football.
Yeah, it can relate in certain ways, like you just said. You said it best. So how do you prepare for your upcoming games? Like, how do you study your opponents that you're going to face, and what do you feel like their tendency might be that you might want to work on to exploit on? Just from being an opponent, like how would you study against them?
So what I do is I watch a bunch of film on them. Then I see the first two quarters I like watching in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. So I see the opening moves, the moves that the bring out, they're able to do. Then fourth quarter when they're tired, I see the moves they're doing the fourth quarter. Then I see kind of moves they try to do. The first move they say because a good different defensive player should have like three moves, like a go-to move, a backup plan move, and a move that if two of them doesn't work so all I do is I watch a bunch of films on these guys, make notes on their favorite, go-to move, their tendencies, their weakness, then stuff like that. Then after watching it, sometimes I come to the practice, the scout players, I tell them, oh, this is how I want you to rush me. This is how I want you to play. I want you to move, go fast, try to beat me around the edge. I want you to bull rush me. I want you to go out and come back in. So like different things, I see different things, players like to do. Then I write it down, I practice it on the field, then I get ready for game day.
Absolutely, man. See, I like how you put it, man. Like the way you're going to study your opponents, you're going to find which way that what's good and bad, but then you're going to find what you can do against them pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
So for yourself, man. So let's say you can get off a little on your health. What kind of cheat meal would you like to have, man? Like what would be your cheat meal if you were just taking one off on one of those days?
I mean, if you're from ATL, JJ's fries and wings. Yeah,
Ooh, then
yeah,
wings and fries, man. You can't go wrong with that,
yeah,
man. I mean, hey, I can't like for an offensive lineman myself, bro. We got to get them chicken wings or something, man. So
yeah, yeah,
little burger, but it doesn't hurt. But you might have to like cut off a little here and there. But it's
yeah.
all good. But so just for you, man, like your upcoming schedule, what do you got planned for your schedule before the draft?
Right now, I just have like a local day coming up this Friday, Falcons local day. That is right now. That's all I got right now.
Okay, definitely. So just from you, man, like what would be the best advice for somebody who happens to be in the similar situation, comes from Nigeria, and actually trying like new to the game of football, and what would you give the best advice for that person?
The best advice I'll give is keep going. Don't listen to because when I started playing this game, I told a couple of my friends I was trying to join the football team, and they laughed at me. So as long as you know you want to do this, keep going. Don't listen to no outside noises. You know the reason you started. You know the you have a chip on your shoulder. You know the people you're doing it for. You know your why. You know where you're from. Never forget where you're from, especially in this world where worldly things can deceive you and worldly things can disrupt you from your path. Never forget where you're from and just keep going, and put everything to God. I feel like the journey, once God is in it, it makes it more smoother. It makes it more understanding. The days where you want to quit, the days where you want to give up, God, having that place and having that threshold with God will keep you on the right path and keep you to keep going. So yeah, just keep going. Never stop. Be consistent. Keep showing up.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's kind of like showing, that's something similar. But which NFL player has reached out to you and give you some advice for the next level?
Um, Obviously, I worked out in Triple F and Triple F. The guys we worked out, John Feliciano, if you remember him, he just got retired from the just got retired. Then we also worked with Rodney. Rodney, he played for the um can't remember, but like a bunch of guys that just freshly retired, got retired from the NFL, just came to train us and pour into us. Yeah, and
Oh,
also Lee Smith. Lee Smith, I just got retired too, and that's why I trained at.
they've been there and done it, man. So they know what
Yeah,
it takes to get to the next level. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be no different with you, man.
yeah.
You're gonna take everything seriously at the end of the day. So what motivates you to be better, man?
What motivates me to be better is obviously where I'm from. I've seen how people suffer. Um, I've seen the way people suffer. I've seen the way people lack, and I've seen the way my mom struggles. So like every day I go in, even days I want to quit, I remind myself of how much my mom is struggling. To bring they gave up everything in Nigeria to to bring their kids over here for a better opportunity. So every time I go out, every time I'm doing anything, I just try to remember my why, which is my mom. My mom, my dad. Trying to make them proud. It motivates me. It gives me that zeal and it gives me the hunger to keep going because I've seen firsthand, how they struggle. I've seen the firsthand, how they, suffer to, make us comfortable. So yeah,
Your parents made the sacrifice and moved over here to America to better your future, so
yeah,
that's understandable. And you want to reward that for that good reason, man. So it's gonna get there. It's got to be like it's got to feel like a great moment. That when did you like? Does this moment feel like just surreal or just business as usual? Just to realize, hey, man, I'm going into the NFL.
it feels surreal because, like I told you before I tried to try out for the football team, I told my friends I was trying out for the football team, and they laughed at me. And now I'm here, so like it feels. Sometimes I'm like, is this real? Sometimes when I'm talking to the NFL scouts, to NFL coaches, I'm like, is this real? Is this actually real? So I'm just trying to live everything moment by moment. Trying to praise God, trying to be thankful, trying to actually sit down and actually understand that yes, I'm here in this part of my life. So yeah, I just want to take in everything with a step by step, to actually enjoy this process because it happens only once.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's going to pay off in the long haul, man. So
Yeah.
going from like, what's the difference from growing up in Nigeria to America? Like, what do you see the difference?
The main difference is the culture aspect. Um, there's certain things we don't do in Nigeria that we do here. There's certain things. It's just the cultural stuff. The cultural aspect of it is the major difference, I'd say. Because me when I moved here, there's certain things that I didn't really get to adapt to till I stayed there for a long time. So let's say the food is way different. The music, the way we interact, the so yeah, stuff like that, just way different.
Okay, yeah, it is a different culture, and the music's a little different. So, in America, what kind of music do you like listening to?
I still listen to my regular music, Afro beats. But like when I listen to American music, I listen to Young Thug, Lil Baby, I listen to Future. I listen to hip hop artists like that, But I still listen. I'm a every Afrobeats listener.
Okay, I mean, at least you know the culture of the music, so at least you're kind
Yeah,
of like, so you're getting up to speed about it. But hey, man,
yeah.
yeah, man, definitely appreciate your time, bro. I know it's
Thank
gonna
you.
be a fun journey, bro. So whatever
Yeah,
happens in your journey, bro, I'm definitely rooting for you to succeed, man. Whether it's in San Francisco or those 31 teams, man, just
yeah,
take every opportunity you can take, man,
yeah.
and hopefully, if you come in San Francisco, we got to make a second appearance, man. But
Definitely,
for
definitely.
everybody else, man, tell me where they can find your social media platform, where they can contact you or reach out.
So my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram is Ben Dogai, BenDeguy1.
Oh yeah, and for everybody else, this is offensive. I mean, this is Georgia State offensive lineman Ben Chuma. Man, this guy he's got some good upside, man. Don't sleep on this guy. This guy comes from Nigeria, man. He's gonna give you some nightmares for those defenders, man. You better watch out for this man. But hey, man, thank you guys for your time, and we're out, man.
Thank you. Thank you.